Right, before I get into anything on I'm So Cadizzy, first thing I want to do, guys, is thank you very, very much. This channel has been going for only 2 weeks, and we are now closing in on 2,000 views on my videos and 150 watch hours as well. So we're closing in on those numbers. It's down to you guys. Thank you very much for your support. I really, really appreciate it. Now, at the last episode of I'm So Cadizzy, I said to you that I'd fill you in on a pre-contract deal. I said we didn't have time. I said we were running out of time, so I promised it to you in this video, and I'm a man of my word. So before we get into that intro and talk about what's been going on since you were last here, first thing I'm going to do is show you who's joining us in the summer on a freebie. And that man is Todd Cantwell, who will be joining us from Norwich. Granted, it's not a mega star. It's not a superstar announcement to make. However, it is a player that I really like. And the fact that he's running down his contracts and is still valued at 4.4 million now in January, I wouldn't be surprised if he joins us in the summer and is worth £10 million plus. So to get him for free could be massive. Now, looking at his skill set, he's a great dribbler on the ball. He's composed. He's creative. He's got flair. He makes good decisions. He's not the fastest, but he doesn't need to be in the role that I'm looking for. So his technique's great. I mean, where you're looking for all the key skill sets from an attacking creative midfielder, Todd Cantwell fits the bill. He's not having the best season in the Sky Bet Championship this year. He's scored 7 goals. He's got 1 assist in 25 games. However, under the guidance of the not-so-special one, you watch Todd Cantwell fly next season. For now, though, let's get into that intro and I'll update you on what's been going on since you were last with me. So there we have it. We are fourth after 24 games and still flying. Just 14 games left of the season, and we are very much in the mix for European qualification at the moment. Now, don't get me wrong, I am not by any means expecting that, but we're in with a shout. We are definitely in with a shout. At 24 games, we have only lost 5. The only teams that have managed to beat us this year are Atletico Madrid, Villarreal, Barcelona, Real Madrid and Getafe. Take Getafe out of that, we're 19th. The only teams that have beaten us are the other 4 teams in the top 5. We are flying. We are flying. There is no doubt about it. So we're doing really well. And as you can see from our form run, we're doing okay. Since you last checked in, with regards to sort of schedule and where we're at, we've been on a relatively decent run. So we left, I left you at the end of the last episode with a 0-0 draw against Elche. Slightly disappointing, and on a run of 5 games in all competitions without a win. However, we very quickly bounced back with a 1-0 win over Real Valladolid. So very, very tight game, 10 shots apiece. Yes, we had a bit more of a share of the possession with 61%, but this really could have swung either way, and it was Lucas Perez that got the winner early into the second half, just 2 minutes after the restart. Jose Marie with the assist, and yeah, 1 goal was enough. A nice little chip over the top and a first time touch with the side of his left foot, inside of his left foot, just nicely guided into the far bottom corner. So that got us back to winning ways, and then we followed that up with a blinding result. I mean, I really thought that we would struggle against Athletic Club Bilbao, but we absolutely blew them away. 5 goals in total. But as you'll see here, the game was all over, really, by the 27th minute. By half-time, we were 5-0 in front. Don't get me wrong, it looks like we didn't really come out for the second half. But 5 first-half goals, with braces coming from Ruben Sobrino and Lucas Perez. Yeah, it was just, we absolutely blew them away. It's probably the best 45 minutes of football that I have witnessed on FM23 from one of my sides. Yeah, I can't complain at all. Some really tidy finishes. Sobrino there, you'd think that he would sort of side foot that to the keeper's left, down to his right. Instead, he sort of just just sort of went the other way, like completely sort of fooled the keeper. A nice little tap in. We've seen a lot of goals like that this year for Lucas Perez. He's been on the end of those low crosses for nice tap-ins, gets himself in the right position. His positional sense is incredible. And again, a carbon copy again there, this time coming from the other side of the pitch. A nice crossing from Espino. And again, Lucas Perez just guides it in, just gets part of his body on it. Theo Bongonda this time, looking for Perez again for the hat-trick, but the deflection off the defender just deflects it straight into the path of Sabrino, who has a nice finish. And then we finish that off with a nice headed effort from Victor Chust to actually, like I said, have us 5-0 up by half time. So yeah, absolutely flying at that point. Atletico Madrid, totally different proposition altogether. 3-1 defeat. Completely forgiven. Like I said, these are teams that we're not expected to get anywhere near in season 1. I mean, with regards to the statistics in that game, we were very much in it. Again, on the stats, it was 50-50 possession, 15 shots apiece. It was just that their shooting was a lot better than ours. 7 of their shots were on target to only 2 of ours. Strikers didn't really turn up. So, yeah, but like I said, it's away at Atletico. I mean, we're probably not expected to start beating teams like that until maybe 3-4 seasons in. However, the lads gave me a superb reaction to that, and we were quickly back to winning ways with a great entertaining game for the fans. 5 goals between the two teams and a 3-2 win against Rayo. This sort of swung. It was sort of like a pendulum, swung in the balance both ways. So Lucas Perez had us in front, then they pulled it level. Then Alex Fernandez had us in front again. Palazon brought them back level again on 66 minutes, and it was an 84th minute winner in the end. So we'll take a quick look at these goals again. Espino over to Alex. There's that Lucas tap in again. It is certainly becoming the striker's trademark for us this year. Just getting into the right position. The rest of the team are finding him brilliantly, and they're just making it easy for him to score. I mean, a lot of the chances that Lucas Perez has, he can't miss. Sabrino there that time to Alcaraz, some nice intricate passing inside the box, guiding it pretty much to within about 5 yards of the goal for Alex Fernandez for the tap in. And then, yeah, like I said, I mean, they work their goals well as well. Certainly walking away from this one, we couldn't have we couldn't have sort of felt hard done by if our opponents had got a draw out of it. But that goal from Ruben Alcaraz, another contender for goal of the season, cracking goal, and obviously worthy of winning any game. So yeah, we followed that up with a 1-0 victory and a 1-1 draw. Most recently, I mean, Almeria, we won that 1-0. Should have been more. They didn't have a single shot on target in the whole game. They're bottom of the league, and it's quite easy to see why. Just slightly disappointing that we only banged the 1 goal past them. But then the most recent result has been a slightly disappointing 1-1 draw against Osasuna. But, like I said, it leaves us 4th in the division. We're now on a 3-match unbeaten run. We've only lost 1 in our last 7. So we've certainly turned our form around again. We do need to be making the most of this next run that's coming up. So you're going to join me here today for the game against Real Betis. It is effectively a European contenders clash, which is why I've come back into it at this game point. It is 4th against 6th. If we win, we could go up to 3rd. We could go sort of 5 points clear of Betis. If Betis beat us, they will leapfrog us into those Champions League places. So it's a big game for both sides, but certainly a game that we never expected to be involved in at this time of the season. I expected to be down there facing relegation battling games, like playing against teams like Girona and Getafe and Almeria, needing wins to stay up, not being in this luxury position that, well, if we win, we'll go 3 or 4 points clear in the Champions League spots. Like, it's just totally unexpected. I'm not complaining though. I'm not complaining. We could be playing Champions League football next year. Probably very, very, very unlikely. But we could be. So yeah, we'll be taking on Betis in that game. I mean, we've got a run of games which we really need to take advantage of. Valencia are struggling this season, so they're down in 9th, massively underachieving. We've then got to play the likes of Espanyol, Girona, Mallorca, Celta Vigo and Getafe. And we really need to take as many wins to these. If we want to stay in that contention for these European spots right to the very end of the season, we're going to have to be on our best form over the next few games. The reason being, after that, we will play the likes of Real Madrid, Sevilla, Barcelona, Villarreal pretty much all in a row. that could be 4 defeats from 5 games, without a doubt. It was the last time we played them. Villarreal beat us, Barcelona beat us, Sevilla we got a draw against, Real Madrid beat us. So yeah, we've got a really tough run in. Granted, at the end of this Villarreal game, if we're still in the mix, then we've got a couple of winnable games at the end, where if we need to pick up points to sort of get ourselves back into the top 6, top 7, we may be able to do it, but we certainly need to be, like I said, making the most of the run that is upcoming. So not a lot to fill you in on in the meantime, but we'll have a little catch up. We've looked at the results. I'll fill you in on everything else, and then we'll get straight into that Betis game. Now, I know that I keep going on about our overachievement this year, but I do want to highlight that yet again, and this screen is going to show just how well we are doing. So as I said, we are sitting 4th. When we look at the salary per annum, per season, all these other teams that are in the top 4, top 5, you'd expect them to be there. They spend the most money. We are the lowest spending team on player wages in the whole league. 20th out of 20. Less than 12 million a year on salary per annum, compared to Real Madrid's 217 million pounds a year. Real Madrid are spending 21 times the amount on player wages that we spend, and we're only 3 places behind them in the league. It's just mental. So that's where we're at, and I just wanted to show that screen just to, again, just show how bloody great I am as a manager. The not so special one, soon to become the special one. But no, I'm only joking, guys. I'm really not that big headed, but genuinely I am shocked at how well we are doing this year. We are flying, and again, this screen here just proves it. With regards to the finances, club's in a stable position. Got 14 million in the bank. We've got a nice steady climb on the finance throughout the season. We're making money. We're not losing money. We're 50 grand below what we could spend on wages, to be fair. So the board must be delighted with me. I mean, I'm massively looking after the longevity of this club as we look to build, and that's really important. I mean, doing a one club save on FM, the main thing that you need to be doing is looking at the future sustainability of your club, like the future growth, and having money in the bank and looking after wage budgets and everything else is a massive part of that. And naturally the board are delighted. A+, supporters A+, everyone's delighted at the club. Looking at the dynamics, the squad are happy, the support for me is good, the club atmosphere is excellent. Things could not be any better at the moment. Although there has been a couple of sticking points. I mean, I was really looking forward to Youssoufa Moukoko joining the club. However, you will notice that he has not really played since you was last here, and that's mainly down to the fact that in that Real Valladolid game he picked up a 5-week injury, spraining his knee ligament. So yeah, he has been out and he hasn't returned yet. He's still only played 1 start and 2 sub appearances for us in the league. Yeah, we just have not been able to use him. He's just returned from injury and may just feature in this Betis game. As you will notice, the Betis game is coming just 3 days after our clash with Osasuna, so there's going to be some tiredness in the squad. We're going to need a bit of rotation, and Moukoko may feature on his first game back from injury. One player that is worth mentioning is Ruben Sobrino. He has been brilliant. If we look at our squad here and look at our assistant manager's recommendations, Ruben Sobrino is just a 3-star player. If I left my squad selection down to my assistant manager, Ruben Sobrino probably wouldn't even get in the team. And here is that importance, bang on, about not taking all of your star ratings from your assistant manager as gospel, not following him to the letter, because if I did that, Ruben Sobrino probably would not be playing much this season. However, he's featured in 20 out of my 24 games. He's got a great average rating. He's been involved in 11, has contributed to 11 goals in the league this year, 3 in the cup as well. So altogether, he's got 7 goals and 7 assists in 22 appearances, 14 goal contributions in 22 appearances for a player that my assistant manager doesn't even think is one of my best attackers. Ruben Sobrino's been great. Most recent form, Yeah, he's been in goal scoring form, been in assisting form. In his last 5 games, he has 3 goals and 2 assists. So he's, as long as he's fit enough, he certainly will be playing. In general, my playing time, I've been rotating my squad enough. You'll see this playing time column here that I love to have on my squad selection screen. Just shows me a quick overview that everyone's pretty satisfied, happy or delighted with their playing time compared to their agreed playing time in their contract. Only one that's a little bit concerned is Farley. He hasn't really played much at all. He's only made 2 sub appearances. He's just not good enough for my team, if I'm honest. He's sort of there as a backup. I've kind of kept him in there in case we pick up injuries or anything like that, but we haven't. There hasn't really been the opportunities for him to come in and have a go. So Farley probably is looking like a player that will move on in the summer. But other than that, everyone else is pretty happy. Everyone's playing pretty well. We look at the last 5 games. We've got players in form. Like I said, Ruben Sobrino's on a 7.48 from his last 5. Ruben Alcaraz in central midfield, playing really well, 7.28. Alex Fernandez is on form. So our midfield players are really sort of coming through now. And we are starting to sort of dominate games in the middle of the park. Our passing's been really good, our chance creation's good, and that's sort of backed up by the fact that our midfield players are all in form. So that's kind of where we're at the moment. We're going to get into this Real Betis game. It's a massive, massive game. If we win, it could be huge in our quest to somehow qualify for European football this year. And we'll start that off by nipping over to the press conference, the pre-match press conference. So Cadizzy's last meeting with Real Betis took place at Nuevo Mirandilla and finished 3-1. What do you make of your chances in this match? I'm going to say these matches are always challenging, but they're always exciting, and one of the dates on the fixture list I always eagerly anticipate. Following Real Betis' heavy 3-0 La Liga Santander defeat against Real Madrid, Pellegrini's side are currently 6th in La Liga with 41 points from 24 matches. Do you think there is a chance Real Betis could take all the points at Estadio Benito of Villamarin on Wednesday? We can't afford to go into this anything less than 100% or we won't win. It's that simple. How much work do you have to do to be ready for a match like this? I think we've prepared really well and I'm confident. No, I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to come in across overconfident. So let's go for a neutral approach. I try and approach every game, every match in the same way, regardless of the perceived importance of it. We'll be focused on our game and getting a good result. Don't you think the fans would want to see a bit more passion from their manager, given the nature of the rivalry between the two clubs? They might start thinking that Manuel Pellegrini has got more desire to win than you. This geezer's picking a fight with me. Let's just say I'm not going to say I'm a better manager than Pellegrini. That would just make me look silly. I don't think that's fair. I've got just as much desire as him, if not more. That's why I have to make sure we don't let ourselves get drawn into all the extra hype of a match like this. Will the likes of Victor Chust be rested ahead of a busy upcoming fixture list? I'm not prepared to discuss team selection. Can you give us any indication of how you will be approaching the match tactically? I am not willing to discuss any tactical details before the match. I am not giving away my secrets before we play a big game. Let's get on to that team selection and see who's lining up for the game against Betis. So we've got a couple of slight issues in squad selection for this one for such a big game, in the fact that we have a couple of key players out suspended. So Josep Zaldúa has been our number 1 right back this year. When he plays, we are certainly better. Izzer is certainly one of the weakest players in the whole squad, but has to come in at right back. We don't really have any other options. So Zaldúa is suspended, and Jose Marie. So Jose Marie's been in good form of late. He has 4 assists from central midfield this year. Certainly one of the most consistent players on average rating, but he's suspended for this one as well. So we've had to bring in youngster Gustavo Assunção, the January signing. He's currently made 7 appearances, 5 from the bench so far. He gets an opportunity to impress in the centre of the park. The informed Ruben Sobrino is fully fit though and starts the game. Victor Chust and Luis Hernandez will be the centre back pairing, the go-to for this year. Those two have definitely been my best centre back pairing of the year, certainly my strongest. we seem to win more games when they are playing at the back together, so we will stick with those. We are going to try and give the boys a little G up, a little motivation boost, so I think we need to show everyone that their recent praise is justified, put on a real show out there, and that does seem to have sort of inspired confidence amongst most of the players. I'm just going to tell Lucas Perez up front as well that I trust in him, and that has given him a little bit more inspiration as well. Now, clearly, the main danger man for Betis is their frontman, Nabil Fekir. Strongly linked with Arsenal in real life a couple of seasons ago. Never really materialised. Now at Betis, and he is their top goal scorer and most assister for the year. So, I mean, don't get me wrong. Yeah, so it's 6 and 6. So they haven't got an out-and-out danger man up front in terms of goal-scoring ability. It doesn't look like Betis are going to have a 20-goal-a-season guy this year. However, Nabil Fekir is contributing to a goal at least one every other game. And you can see from his stats, technically, he is a fantastic footballer. So yeah, he's the danger man. He's the one to look out for. He's got a great first touch. He's a good finisher. He's got pace. I mean, it's a real difficult one. The likelihood is he'll probably drop in as well and look to pull our defenders out. So we're not going to press him anymore. We're not going to mark him tighter, because I don't want my defenders following him back and releasing space for the other three. The only thing I'm going to do is I'm going to just try and put him off his game a little bit by going in hard on him. Hopefully that isn't going to affect, we're not going to pick up an early sending off by players getting over carried away or anything. And he is sort of predominantly left-footed, not great with his right, so we will put him onto his right foot as well, should he get any goal-scoring opportunities. Is there any team news that you can share ahead of your match against Real Betis? Our opponents pose a technical challenge which will prompt me into making a few adjustments. Don't you agree that these clashes add something special to La Liga? There aren't many other fixtures with this atmosphere and will to win, are there? When you go into football, these are the matches you want to be involved in. They make everything worthwhile. Has the recent fixture list been particularly challenging? Not really. It's that fixture list towards the end of the season that I'm worried about. So I'm going to just say there, if we can fare well during runs like this, then I know we're in a good place as a team. So yeah, we are ready to go. Kickoff does commence. Big game. Big game. I'll be honest, being away from home, certainly they will be the favourites, and I'm not coming into this expecting a victory. If we can pick up a draw, I'd see it as a good result. Yeah, so we'll see if we can take anything from the game at all. But yeah, it's Betis at the moment, and there's a ball over to it, and there's the danger man Fekir with his first chance of the game, and he scores. Yeah, there's that left foot, absolute banger into the top corner. I identified him as the danger man, and yeah, he has proven to be exactly that in just 9 minutes of the game starting. Yeah, not good. It's a good goal, to be fair. It's us on the attack now with Sabrino on the right, who plays it back to Just, who's just going to sort of compose, slow down the play a little bit, and plays in Hassan Sal in central midfield. The youngster who's looking to impress on a rare start today. And Sabrino's in, and it's a good save from the goalkeeper. It's a good save from the keeper there. I mean, yeah, I thought he was going to be back on level terms there. Now it's us building again. Espino down the left to Bongonda. Bongonda plays back to Hassan Sal. Hassan Sal seems to be involved in our attacking play from deep. And there's Espino, and it's Lucas, and it's just wide. Lucas Perez was offside, so VAR probably would have disallowed that had it gone in. But that looked like another Lucas special. Cross coming in and effectively a sort of tap in. He had a little bit more work to do that time and couldn't guide the shot on target. And now Betis have a chance for 2-0. And Luis Enrique doesn't hit the target. He really should have done. With that opportunity, but yeah, he shoots wide of the post, and it's a little bit of a let-off as we approach the half an hour mark, and it's Betis on the ball again, down the left with a throw-in from Miranda, and Izza cuts that one out and plays a looping ball upfield, a bit hopeful and a bit wasteful, to be fair, and Betis retain possession again. Edgar back to Ramos, and Ramos to his centre-back partner, Victor Ruiz. And it's again, it's a hopeful ball over the top. But the one for Betis almost comes off. But that is a good tackle from Izza. I will give him that one. That was a good tackle. His passing not be great. Oh, I thought that was going in. His passing may not be great at times, but certainly that was a chance-saving tackle. Lucas Perez is struggling up top in this one. 6.2. He's not had the best first half. I'm just going to give all the boys a word of encouragement for the last 7 or 8 minutes of the half. Just see if we can push on and make something happen before the break. And things like that aren't going to help. We're playing very dangerously there. Ruben Sobrino almost putting Betis in himself. It would have been a lovely through ball just to the wrong team. Asensio with a fantastic ball over the top down the left wing, releases Bongonda, who's going to look to beat his man and does beat his man, comes out onto his right foot, plays to Asensio, and it's Izza. There's the right back with an opportunity. To be fair, in that position, probably the last player you want the ball falling to in that position for a shot just outside the area is Izza. We're 1-0 down at half time, but we're certainly not out of it. We are a little bit more in control on possession. Only 1 of our 5 shots on target, which is slightly disappointing. I'm going to tell the lads that if there is an opportunity to talk about shooting, we simply have to do better in front of goal, at least start hitting the target more often. I'm also going to give Lucas Perez 6.1, Ruben Alcaraz 6.5 and Victor Chus 6.5 a little kick up the arse. Just tell them I'm not happy with their performance and see if I can give them a little boost to go out there and prove a point in the second half. And Lucas Perez has immediately dropped from a 6.1 to a 6.0. I have a feeling he will be departing the pitch pretty soon. Not the reaction. Wow. For a minute there, that's gone in. For a minute there, I thought that was the world's greatest clearance off the line. Have a look at this. I don't know if it hits him or if it's an actual attempt of a clearance, but even though it's gone in, I mean, that save alone, that is really unlucky. That is really unlucky on the line. That save from Ledesma as well. I mean, it's only just trickled over the line, to be fair. It looks like a whisker. Yeah, I think that's unlucky, to be fair. I mean, that was a great save from Ledesma, in fairness, from the free kick. I mean, it's looking now. I mean, Betis look like they're taking control of this when they should. I mean, very nearly 3-0 up there. It's hit the bar. From the free kick to the head. It's a headed effort off the woodwork. But yeah, they certainly, after me trying to encourage my lads at half time, it looks like Betis are actually the ones that have come out looking like the team that were behind and need to get something out of the game. Lucas Perez is really playing. He's down to 5.9 now. He's just not in this one at all. Let's get Yusufa Makoko on. First game back since 5 weeks out of injury. Let's see what he can do. Can he bring anything different to the table? Can he cause Betis any problems? Ruben Alcaraz is also struggling in central midfield, so we're going to bring San Amaterio on as well. It would be a statement and a half if the youngster Makuku could go out there and bag a brace now and get us a draw, but it's probably extremely hopeful thinking, if I'm brutally honest. But you never know. You never know. Fekir, he's very good, isn't he? He's very good. He's a player I'd love to have at some point in this save. I would love to. It's 3-0. It's pretty much game over now on the hour mark. We are being battered now. Fekir is a player that I would love to have at Cadiz at some point in this stage. Whether that opportunity will ever come up, whether those sorts of budgets will ever become available to the team. Certainly Champions League football would help in the next couple of seasons. But yeah, he's a very, very good player. He's really standing out there as well. Just blessed with extreme talent, Betis, in certain areas of the field where we are definitely lacking today. I mean, defensively, we've been poor. Victor Chust is on a 6.1. He's off. For the sake of it, we spoke about it. We're 3-0 down. We're not going to win the game. Let's get Farley on for a little bit of game time. He was concerned with his recent game time that he's getting. So yeah, let's just let's just give him a few minutes, see if we can satisfy that, at least get something out of the game in terms of player welfare. I think it's now 4-0, and yeah, it's just a walk in the park for Betis. This second half has been really disappointing. We haven't offered anything at all. I'm surprised actually that our away stand is actually still full. I'm surprised the fans have not started to leave. I'm sure with that fourth goal going in, they will start to depart the stadium pretty sharpish. And if I'm honest, on today's showing, I couldn't blame them. We really haven't been at it. Everyone's been poor. I don't know if it's just because we've only had a 3-day gap since the last game. Maybe it's fatigue, maybe it's fitness, maybe it's just the fact that we're just not good enough. But yeah, we just have not been at the races. Betis are looking for a late fifth. Very nearly got it. Goal line technology. I mean, that's I love the goal line technology because you can't see anything from that view whatsoever. But yeah, it's they're looking for. I mean, they've had 20 shots. They've been hugely dominant. Mokoko's been disappointing off the bench. Come on, has offered nothing. I don't even think he touched the ball. Yeah, I don't know what I just saw from the team. I am telling them that. I mean, Lucas Perez, you was awful, mate. I'm really quite angry about how badly you played. Yeah, not good. Not good. So what does that do in terms of the league? I've got the I'm sending my assistant to that one. I'm not going to that press conference. I don't want to answer questions of that. So Real Betis have jumped above us to 4th in the table. We have dropped down to 5th, but we're still 3 points clear of 7th. We're still 7 points clear of 8th. It's not all bad. 25 games in. And we do now have, I mean, yes, we have got Valencia in our next match away from home. That's going to be tough. But following that, we do have 3 out of our next 4 games will be at home. Playing the likes of Espanyol, Girona, Mallorca, Celta Vigo. We have some very winnable games coming up in that run. So I will be going. I will be leaving you for now. Thank you again for checking in for another episode of I'm So Cadizzy. Thank you again to my subscribers and support. The subscribers are going up very, very gradually, but they are going up on a daily basis, and the viewing time is really good, guys. It's really good to see that people that are watching this video are generally watching the whole video. I really appreciate your time that you're spending supporting me, so again, thank you for that. Tell your mates, tell your FM fans, tell them about me, tell them to come and watch my videos, tell them to hit that subscribe button. If you do want to subscribe, just down in the description to this video there is a link, a subscription link right at the top of the description. Hit that button and look out for the next episode. I'm going to go away and play some of these hopefully easy games and come back with some wins on the board. We'll probably come back for one of these clashes here. If we're in the mix for a top 4 place, we might come back for Real Madrid. If we've sort of gone out of that running by now, I might skip that game and not show you us getting thrashed and go to the Real Sociedad game that we might win instead. But yeah, that's roughly where we'll come back, guys. So I will see you again very, very soon. Take care of yourselves.